good to see you again. So I think I'm finally ready to announce a game that Sean and I have been working on. It's pretty similar to something that already exists in the panning community with a little bit of a twist. So Sean and I are huge nerds. We like to play Dungeons and Dragons, or D&D, as we'll call it from here on out. And so we figured it would be fitting to mix the two things I really, really love hobby-wise together to make a game. So we're going to call it Rolling for Pans. And basically what that means is I'm going to pick a palette every day. Doesn't matter what palette, but a palette from my collection. And depending on how many pans of eyeshadow are in there, determines the dice we're going to roll. And the dice are going to choose my look. It's kind of like the random generator that people do, but there are a few tweaks we're making that make it a different game. So neutrals are free. If I wanted to add a neutral to the look, I could. I didn't grab my neutrals palette, so we're not doing that today, so I hope the dice don't do me too dirty today. But I can use any neutrals I want. Minor highlights and accents I can add later for depth and to hopefully save some looks depending on what the dice roll. At the end, I have to rate my look 1 to 20, and the DC is 14 for if I recommend the look or not. DC is like anything less than 14, I don't recommend the look, and 14 or greater, I do recommend the look. So it should be pretty fun. Today I chose Tiny Marbles, which is kind of funny. So Tiny Marbles has 15 eyeshadow pans in there. And when I'm talking about dice, I'm talking about like literal dice. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Dungeons and Dragons, you roll the dice and that determines like your outcome. It's kind of a role-playing game. But because it's a 15 pan eyeshadow, there's no like 5-sided dice. So I have to use my D6 dice. So what that plays out as is 1 through 5, obviously it chooses the color. On 6, I get to choose the color from that row. So I haven't done anything to my face yet because I'm trying to see what kind of a look we're doing. So just a reminder, this is what Tiny Marbles looks like, and it's backwards for you guys. So this row is 1, this row is 5 for me, and then obviously like 2, 3, 4, and then 6 I choose. So I like Tiny Marbles as a palette like so much, but the shades, the looks I do end up being very samey because I already like grouped things together in my mind, if that makes sense. So this should be an exciting way to get more use out of Tiny Marbles, but still like, I don't know, changing it up a little bit, not being so samey, so predictable. So I have my D6 here. We are rolling for this top row. You can kind of see it, it looks like. This top, like, neutrally row. So, the dice rolled 2. Oh, that's boring. Okay, so 2 is this brown in Tree Hopper. Okay, Tree Hopper. 2 again! The yellow. BB, oh my goodness, am I going to be doing like a row of 2? I have to roll this so you guys can see. And 6, I get to choose. Okay, so a brown and a yellow. Do I want to be boring? Do I just want to do purple, brown, and yellow? Today's look is going to be pretty boring. I mean, okay, so the brown and the yellow were already decided for me. So that left this bottom row as my choose anything row. And, I mean, I could do pink, but I feel like that's even more boring. Brown and yellow. Maybe we'll do... Man, I don't even know. That is a, Okay. Brown, yellow, brown, yellow, pink. We're doing brown, yellow, pink today. That's what we're doing. Oh, that was exciting, man. Like, now I know how you guys feel when you do the, okay, so I have to rate the look 1 to 20, and my DC is 14. Oh, I need to set up this mirror in a way that makes sense now. What am I doing? What am I doing with my life? Okay. kind of makes sense. Okay, it's a little far away. It's farther away than I would like. There we go. That was like nerve-wracking. I don't know, like 2, 2, and 6. What interesting rolls. So yeah, Sean and I are working on some other games. We have like some ideas, but there's like some major issues with like some of the games we have thought up, so we need to iron those out. But this is actually really fun. Like when you're rolling the dice, you don't know what's gonna happen going in. So it's like, oh man, is this gonna be an all shimmer look? Like, is this gonna be a boring like all brown look? Because I don't ever do those. Like I don't do neutral eyeshadow really ever. So like what's gonna happen? But yeah, I'm doing 2 shimmers and 1 matte today. It's the look that the dice has told us we are doing. So that's what we're doing. Oh man, I don't have my, what am I doing? I don't have my purple. See, it's deja vu. Like, I'm starting to have deja vu. I start yapping and I forget the same things every time. Am I going to forget mascara again today? Is that where this is heading? Because I forgot mascara yesterday. There we go. There we go. This is more fitting. Yes, we're more in the, yeah. Yeah, brother. We're more in the mood now. Yeah, brother. Okay, I'm going to use my Morphe M456. That's what influencers do, right? We like do the showy thing. Okay, and I'm going to go in with Tree Hopper, which is the brown at the top. And I'm going to do the thing I always do, which is like map out the shape of my eyeshadow. It also like sets my lid doing this, but I have a really hard time getting shapes even if I don't like map it out. So that's why I always do this. Like some people are like, oh, you just have to like, you know, go in the inner corner and like, you know, buff it out. And that just does not, like that short circuits my brain. I don't know how to do that. So this is what I do. And it's turned out better. Like, if you guys saw some of my old looks before going public, you'd be like, oh man, your shapes are... And even like today, like my shapes are usually off, but they're not as off. So we're moving up in the world, you know? But yeah, I don't know. I've really grown to enjoy like the panning community. Like I've always enjoyed it, but now that I'm like sticking my toes in the water and like trying to play the games and stuff, it's so fun. Like, I don't know, just seeing like when I try the same things other people try, like when I'm put in the same situations in the same position that they were put in, like how do I like handle the pressure? Because like right now, like not going in with a look in mind is like terrifying, because it's like, oh man, like I'm not creative, so coming up with a look on the spot, like, kind of has me sweating a little bit. Like, I'm a little nervous. But, like, when you watch people do it, it's hard to, like, put yourself in their position. Like, hey, if I rolled the same colors as you, like, what kind of look would I do? Like, I find that pretty hard. So, it's just fun. It's interesting. It keeps things exciting around here. Okay, so this is Tree Hopper, that brown. Obviously nothing exciting because it's pretty like flesh toned for me, but back in OG 2016 YouTube, this is how I would start every look, and I never ever did. I always just like went in with like matte dark blue because, you know, be a trendsetter, you know? So I have my shape mapped out. I think I'm gonna be so boring today and just do yellow outer corner, like pink inner corner, and call it good, because I usually do shimmers with my finger too, but it's so messy. Like, I hate doing it on camera, but I think that's what I'm gonna do, because like that's what I always do. So be yourself, girl. Okay, this is BB. It's the Bumblebee Yellow. I have a look that I usually do when I use this palette. It's Flutterby, Mantis, and BB, or alternatively Jewel BB and Mantis. I usually alternate between those two when I use BB. So this did help me get a use in BB that I would not have gotten organically. So that's pretty cool. things are starting to work out with this project. I get so excited with new things, like new makeup, new projects. I'm like, oh yeah, this is going great. This is like changing my life. And it's like the first time I did it. But genuinely, like I'm having so much fun using things in a different way than I usually do. And that's like literally the whole point of this. So I think it's low stakes to say that this is working out in this particular case. But I do that a lot. I've caught myself. Ooh, Marvel's pretty. I don't usually, like, I do use a lot of pinks, like, don't get me wrong, but, like, usually they're very, like, I don't know, they're, like, different pinks. Like, this one feels, like, a little, like, too neutral for my typical taste, but it's beautiful. It was obviously the person who I bought this from's favorite shade, though, because it's the only one that had, like, any noticeable use when I bought the palette, so pretty funny. I can totally see why though, like with the browns, I could see this being like a work appropriate look. Luckily, my boss is my husband. So if I want to wear like a black smoky eye in the heat of the summer, then no one's gonna have anything to say about that because my husband encourages that behavior, actually. Sean told me that if I like went back into high school, I'd be like a goth. I'm like, how would I be a goth? I wear so much pink and like mint green and stuff. And he's like, your makeup, like you would wear smoky eyes every day. I'm like, I'm not goth, Sean. And he's like, yeah, and you like all these like graphic liners, which is like goth. I'm like, that's not goth, Sean, that's makeup. But he thinks I'm goth. This is the most neutral of all neutral. I did not think that this was gonna be such a neutral look. I'm gonna get you guys closer for a second. You see how neutral? So I have Tree Hopper in the crease there. I have BB in the outer corner, and I have Marvel in the inner corner. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get that any deeper. Like, I can use accent shades, but I feel like if I try to deepen it up, like anything that's like not an accent anymore, that's like changing the look. It's a very summer look though. Like this worked out like actually pretty interesting, because it's not summerween. This definitely does not give me Halloween vibes at all. But in terms of like summer makeup, like this totally is summer makeup. So the dice wanted this. And it matches my shirt pretty well, actually. Very summery, very bright. That's fun. I don't even think I'm going to do eyeliner today because I really want to try out my Kulfi mascara. And I find it hard to do that, like, when I have eyeliner on, because it's like, okay, is it making my lashes as full as I think it is? Or is that just the eyeliner? So, this is the moment where if I open my gob too much, I am going to have a big critical fail and get some smudging on my eyelids. And ain't nobody want that, 'cause then... I must say though, like using a tubing mascara is something I used to talk like so much like mess on in my past life. Like tubing mascara was popular back in like 2017, 2018. I remember, and I was like, that sounds terrible. Like, I don't know. I don't like the idea of that. But I don't know why. I think I was just being like a judgmental jerk for no reason. Because reusing it now, like, I think like the problem was I didn't really like understand what a tubing mascara was back in the day. That's why I say like I never used it, because I literally just took off my mascara like with a makeup wipe the way I always do, you know, but like I didn't know that it was a tubing mascara. But like just thinking back to like old me and like my experiences with makeup, like no, I definitely have used a tubing mascara before, just like I didn't use it properly, so like I didn't remember using a tubing mascara before. But like I feel, unless I'm having some very vivid dreams, or like unless my mind is just playing like serious games on me and tricking me into thinking this is true, like I definitely have used one before. Does that make any sense? Like, do you guys ever have that where like you have such vivid dreams, you're like, is that like reality? Like I told Sean like a couple nights ago, I was like, I don't know if this is a dream or like a real conversation that we recently had, but like I dreamed that like you put away the dishes that were in the dishwasher, like, without running it. And I opened up the dishwasher, like, expecting to see, like, half of, like, it full with dirty dishes from, like, you know, this morning. And, like, they were gone. And I was like, Sean, so where's all the dishes? And you said that you put them back. And I had to panic trying to find and remember all the dirty dishes that I put in this morning. Like, I genuinely could not remember if that was, like, a real conversation we had or if that was a dream. Turns out that was a dream, thank goodness. But, like, this is another one of those situations where I'm like, did I actually use a tubing mascara in my previous life and, like, just take it off with, like, a makeup wipe? Like, that totally sounds like something I would do, but did I do that? Like, I feel like I did, but I cannot, for the life of me, think of what that mascara would have been. Because I remember I went through, like, a phase where Guerlain La Petite Robe was, like, the only mascara I wore for, like, a couple years. Because when I worked at Nordstrom, they had this thing called, I think it was Mascara Madness, where it's, like, buy two, get one free on high-end mascaras. They did that a couple times a year. And that was just, like, I used to go through, like, tubes of mascara. Like, you guys think I wear mascara now? Oh my god, you have no idea. In my previous life, I wore, like, because I had this coworker who, she really, like, did, like, spider lashes every day, and they were so gorgeous and so beautiful, but she used so much mascara, and I'm like, girl, I have to be like you. You are so gorgeous. Like, I have to be you. So, there we go. Getting closer for a second. It's my finished eye look. I am not mad. I am not mad about it. The dice did me well today. Also, look at my mascara. Look at my mascara. You guys saw me just apply, like, 2 coats, but girl, they're up there. They are up there. And okay, so where I was getting with this whole spiel, taking off tubing mascara has changed my world. Like, I don't feel like I have to, like, pull out chunks of mascara anymore. Like, I don't feel like, you know, I have to wonder, like, did I get it off? Because, like, girl, of course I got it off. Like, I see the tubes in the sink. Like, of course I got it off. So, yeah, I must say I do like what Too Faced Better Than Sex is still my favorite mascara, like, of all time ever, still to this day. But I think I'm not mad about it. I also really like Fenty Hella Thick is another one of my favorites, but not when it's freshly opened. Like, when it's aged a little bit, that's when it becomes, like, one of my faves. So I have backups of Too Faced and Fenty, and I actually have another backup of Kulfi. So once I try, like, all of them, I will probably do, like, a March Madness and pin them against each other and see which one's, like, truly my favorite. I got new brushes today. Well, got new brushes. I am using fresh brushes because the brushes I've been using the last couple days, girl, they are nasty. And as promised, I am using my Lumi Glotion with Clinique Even Better to see if this is what's making me itch or if it's my It Cosmetics CC cream. I'm also going to be mixing in my Tarte Key Largo Glow today. So we're going to have a lot going on the face, but I need to test it out. Like, it's not going to be fit if I don't test it out, you know? You know. So that's what we're doing. Yeah, brother. Oh, I almost forgot to do it. No, I totally did it. No, I didn't. Did I do it? I don't think so. I don't see bronze. I don't see bronze at all. So we're gonna assume that I didn't. And if I end up super bronze, it's nothing new. 'Cause I organically do that almost every single day anyway. It was so funny. So I looked at, like, the footage of Sean doing my makeup. And he put, like, a reasonable amount of, like, bronzer and blush on. And I'm like, it doesn't look like I'm wearing it on my face. Like, he obviously can see me better than I can see me. So he's like, oh, yeah, this is an appropriate amount of that product for you. And I'm like, where's the product? I just thought that was pretty funny. It just shows, like, A, how much product I use, but B, like, how different people do different makeup on themselves, girl. I'm using Say Mia. I put this bad boy away for quite a while because I've been testing out like other Say products, and I'm trying to use them like, you know, independently because I'm like, man, like I want to see if they work better independently than they work together, because girl, I did not like the way they work together. But everybody talks like and says really good things about this blush. So like this is one that I feel like really ought to work out on its own, provided I don't put way too much on. People say like also be careful with baked formulas because it gets to be like a lot real quick. But people also say that about like the Rare Beauty blush, and I really like a lot of it. So what is it about like the baked formula that makes it so pigmented so quick? Like, do we actually know? Do we have an answer to that? Am I just super behind in the beauty world as always? Oh, also, these new Charlotte Tilbury, like, stick blushes, girl, they are getting me. They are getting me. Like, I was telling Sean, I was like, I have been trying to do so good, and truly, like, I have been doing pretty good for the last, like, 2 weeks. I haven't ordered anything. That's a lie. I've been ordering clothes, but, like, it's on sale for, like, $3 at Mercari. It's, like, a $3 shirt. Like, granted, like, with the shipping, it ends up being, like, a $15 shirt, but, girl, a $3 shirt, like, if I ordered that, like, new with tags, like, from the boutique, it'd be, like, $50, you know? So, like, yeah, shipping kind of screws us over, but it's still cheaper in the long run. So I've been doing good not buying makeup. And like, I think I've told you guys this story a couple times, but I have had some of the same clothes since like middle school. So yeah, like getting a couple new outfits here and there, I don't think is like a terrible, terrible thing. But yeah, so I'm gonna use my Say Rose Glow highlighter as well because people say it's so pretty. But yeah, I also got this email that Say was raising their prices like right after I placed this order. And I'm like, I'm unsurprised because of everything going on. Like, of course they're raising their prices, but like, I'm so glad that I purchased this stuff like before they raised their prices. Because I don't think it would have been worth it if I had to pay any more. I mean, I'm already questioning, like, was it worth it, like, getting the stuff? But, you know. Then we're gonna set. You know, I keep doing this. Oh, that was nasty. that was a really unpleasant flavor. Oh man. I'm almost done with this. It's like, I can't even hear. It might actually be. Maybe I can get one more use. It's like bubbles at this point. It's not even like spray, but like, it's gonna be another empty. I feel like I'm on a roll. What am I gonna do for lips today? I feel like the only thing I really can do that would make any sense. I'll do coffee lip oil. In caramel. Look at that interesting. Do you guys see how pink it is? Like, why is it pink? It's a brown. I really like this coffee lip oil, actually. It makes my lips feel like just so good. Just so good. So, this is my finished look. I know it was pretty boring. The dice, it did easy mode today for me. It was a very summer look, very neutral looking summer look, which is not something I usually do. And I certainly have never used this palette like in this way before. So the game worked because I used the palette and I used the palette in a different way and I came up with a look I like. So rate 1 to 20, I would rate this a 16. That means that it passed the DC and I would recommend this look. The reason it's a 16 and not higher is because I just don't prefer neutral looks on myself. I don't think it's like as exciting or as pretty. But it's nice. I mean, the colors played really nicely together and it actually fits the season. So I think 16 is fitting because it's not like overly exciting. It was like an easy mode, like pretty but not super exciting look. So DC 16, this was a pass. And one more look, I went with, the dice chose this one, and then for the last row I got to choose, I went with that shimmer. So I guess I kind of made it boring. But with like a brown and a yellow, my brain just short-circuited. Like I wanted to use the purple, but I was like, man, like, I don't know, that just feels very like samey, you know? So I went right down the row column. I think it's row. This way's row. And it was a success. So this was Sydney Grace Tiny Marbles again. I had a lot of fun. And I actually remembered to use my glow drops today. So yeah, I will check it on Instagram later and let you guys know if I'm itchy. And if I am, it is this that's expired. And if I am not itchy, then it's probably my It CC cream. In which case tomorrow I'm going to use that without this and see if I'm still itchy. And if I am, then it's expired. And I'm going to be very upset because that's like a $30 to $40 like empty I should be getting pretty soon that I instead will not be getting because I'll have to declutter because they don't go in the garbage. But I'm so itchy sometimes, you guys. Like, but what do we think? What do we think about the rest of the makeup? I like this blush, Mia. I think it's pretty. It's nothing like spectacular though. Okay, so back to the blush sticks. That's what I was talking about. Charlotte Tilbury has these blush sticks that they're releasing next week, and I was telling Sean, I'm like, that purple lilac blush, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pass on that. Like, there's actually two colors I really like. I like the like pink, like the, you know, like the pink shade, the light pink. I don't know what it's called, but I have my eyes on that one and the purple. And I feel like I'm gonna have an easier time passing on the pink than the purple because I just love purple makeup, probably because it goes well with my purple hair. Well, my purple hair that's actually like 3 inches brown at this point. We were supposed to dye my hair yesterday, but yesterday was just one of those days. We were hot, we were tired, we wanted to take a nap, so that's what we did, and not hair, but maybe next week. But yeah, thanks for playing. Again, I'm calling this Rolling for Pans, a D&D inspired panning game. So I'm curious, do any of you play D&D? Are any of you interested in D&D, or am I totally just like taking for granted how much you guys know about D&D and just like, oh yeah, this is a DC of this, and like not explaining, or am I over explaining? Because I tend to do that as well. But anyway, thanks for playing. I now have a couple of things I'm working on right now, which is really exciting. I'm doing Summerween, and I'm also doing Rolling for Pans. So what else am I going to add to the mix? Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, thanks for joining. As Sean would say, please engage and leave a comment in the doobly-doo, and like, share, subscribe. Is that what people say? I don't know. Thanks for hanging out. Just come back and hang out. But see you later.